Hello, everybody. This is Lauren of Plan Mosh Plan. Welcome back to another plan with me. I am super excited about this one. It is my first Christmas spread for 2022. I'm showing you the kit right now. It's called Gingerbread from Miss and Meow, and the kit is absolutely beautiful, like just a stunner of a kit. This was her she did a reformat and then she very shortly after reformatted and formatted some things back and just did a quick switch up a little bit shortly after that first format. This is the first version of the format. So it does have this like new double journaling sheet page that I showed you, etc. And some of the changes, but not all of the changes in her most recent format, if that makes sense. It was still really fun to work with. I'm super into her most recent format. I think it's amazing, but I also think that this kit was amazing. Like this is probably one of this is like definitely in the runner for me for favorite spread of the whole year. Like I definitely a top 3 for me of like all of favorite spreads for the year. I am obsessed with this spread. I love how it came out. Um Having that extra journaling page with all of those fun journaling elements was really fun. The color palette is exactly up my alley. I love these kind of really soft neutral colors. The color palette was just so soft and pretty. And I'm always, I say this all the time, but like really light pinks and sagey greens and like neutrals and what I love that kind of really soft light color palette, but not so soft where you can't see it, but soft enough that everything just looks, I don't know, it's much easier to balance colors that way in my opinion, and, yeah, I just love how love how this spread turned out. I think another thing that was really fun for me, I've talked about this before, I really love, like, a themed holiday spread no matter what holiday of the year it is. I went on a huge tangent about this in my Halloween Plan with Me. If you haven't seen that yet, it's on my channel a few videos back, but I've said it all the time. I say it for years. Love a themed holiday spread. So Christmas is one of my favorite times of year of the year to plan. I do Christmas spreads for the entire month of December because I just can't get enough of it. And something that was really fun about this kit was it obviously is gingerbread themed, which I like to do kind of a softer like entrance um into Christmas. So like the first spread that I'm doing is not going to be like straight up like red and dark green. It's like more like a little bit more vibey, if you know what I mean. So this felt like a good jump off point for me. But Paper Muse Crafts had released like a gingerbread house themed or just a gingerbread themed Thrifty Thursday, aka like her version of a $2 Tuesday, or just which is just foiled accents that were gingerbread themed essentially. So when I when she released that, I knew I had this kit, so I only bought those accents in rose gold, and I knew I was only going to use them for this spread, and I got to really go all out with all of those accents because I wasn't worried about like saving them for other spreads and making them stretch across the season or anything like that. I could just kind of like go full throttle with all of my gingerbread men, and I don't know, I have a lot of like kind of like sugar icing looking washi strips that I use at the you saw them at the bottom in the bottom washi. I'm also going to use them up top here in this top section, and there's little gingerbread man and little smaller versions of all the icing that I put on all of the full boxes. And here, that's what I'm showing you right now. It looks like little, like, icing swirls that you put on a gingerbread house. So cute. So I had so much fun pulling all of that really themed stuff in. I just loved it. And then I've also slowed down this date cover section for you here too. I feel like I tend to edit this a lot faster than the rest of the video because it's a very time consuming portion of it, but I slowed it down so you could really see what I was doing, and I had so much fun with this part too. I love in these like Miss and Meow does these like recipe themed kits, and they have the gingham torn paper strips in them, which I'm obsessed with. I love it. I've talked about this I think in a haul or something, I can't remember, but I just love the gingham for whatever reason. Maybe it was in a Plan with Me, I don't remember. I love the gingham. I love, like, a lightly patterned or textured torn, like, paper strip in a kit because 'cause they're really good to layer over on top of. It's not too busy to layer, like, florals and clip art elements over top it, in my opinion. So, I was a really big fan of that. So I put those in either corner on either side of the date covers and then obviously flipped over the floral washi strip and trim that down a lot, and then put some deco over top. I'll talk about it more when we get to the other side. For the month section over here, I took the little like stamp from the kit and layered it over top one of the like paint swatch looking pieces, and then of course I'm just layering florals on top of that and cutting them out to the side of the page, etc. I think it's really cute. It feels very like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a continuation of the date cover area necessarily, because the scale is a lot bigger and it takes up the appropriate amount of space that I want it to, but it also feels like it fits in really well with that, and it's not like like a half box or like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, I really liked what I did there. Okay, so moving back onto the other side, you could see I have trimmed down those floral strips, which is my preference. I find that for the most part, when shops include these in kits, almost always they are way too tall for my personal style. I have inserts, A5 void inserts, so I have a lot less room up top there in the date cover area than a lot of other planners do. But I also just even if that wasn't the case, I think my personal preference is for them to be like not so tall and chunky. So I tend to trim those down a lot, and I did that here, and I think it looks really good. And then you can see I'm just layering pieces of deco from the kit. There was so much, which was so fun to work with, the different pieces of deco. There's so many different kind of smaller things, which is really nice. I know a lot of times some of this came from I really appreciate that in her floral sheets, she includes like little clip art pieces that are small, and they make sense for them to be small, in my opinion, on her floral deco sheets. I think she does a really good job of that. So yeah, that was really fun. And it also was just like all of these little gingerbread, like cookies, different versions of gingerbread cookies, or like that's a little cinnamon stick I'm layering right now with the flowers. Like in my brain, it makes sense to have like a bunch of gingerbread cookies in different kinds and repeats even of the same cookie in a spread, because like if you bake gingerbread cookies, there would be repeats and there would be a lot of them. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it does. And so I liked having a ton of them up there, whereas like if you were using, I don't know, a kit with like if it was a Christmas kit with like I don't know, like a red Christmas truck or something. I'm just thinking of like my last plan with you that had a truck in it. It doesn't necessarily make sense in my brain to have like a million trucks, you know? I don't know. But it does make sense to have a lot of cookies, whatever. Anyways, you can see that I just kind of layered them all together. I kind of put them in the like break point in the middle of columns, so not centered over the column, but centered in between the columns, if that makes sense, and just kind of kept layering them to get the flow looking good, etc. there. And then in the areas that didn't have the gingham paper layered behind it, I took these alcohol ink swatches from Rose Colored Days. Let's see if I can see the color. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but if I pull it up next time, there we go. What is that called? Blush, I think. I'm pretty sure the color is blush. I'm cutting those up and then layering those in between each of the like little decorative scenes that I created to kind of give like a really light wash of color in the background, so it's not just like plain white space, if that makes sense. I have been super into the alcohol ink swatches. I have been using them so much, especially in the date cover area, but I'm also starting to pull them into like the columns, and I've been such a fan of them. I think they're so much fun to work with. So I would love to see shops include those in their kits. Like I would love it add-ons that have those personally. But yeah, I think they're really fun to work with, and they just really help kind of get like a light wash of color in the background. Whereas like I don't like the rest. My personal preference is not to have like florals or the rest of the deco be on transparent matte, but the alcohol ink swatches on transparent matte I feel like really serves that purpose very well. So I've been really enjoying sticking those in there. I think I've been doing it. Tay, I should say this too. Tay was the first person I ever saw do that a long time ago, like over the summer. And I started doing it in some of my summer spreads that I never posted. I still need to edit those. I got to figure that out. But anyways, yeah, she started doing that, and it's just been something that's been a game changer for me in the date cover area, especially since doing these kind of DIY date covers, a lot of times there's like a fine balance of not wanting it to be too white spacey up there, but also not being able to like not having good stickers to layer up there either that come in kits. Like there isn't 7 of a lot of stickers, like small stickers to put up there in kits. So that's been a good fix for me to pull those in. You can see I am using the date scripts themselves are from Paper Trail Plans, and then these are my favorite little date dots for DIY date cover deco. They're the Sadie Stickers ones. They're like the cluster dots. And when I'm adding in other clusters and then you put the cluster dots in, I feel like it just looks really cohesive, but the dates are still like hiding in there somewhere, but without it being like in your face, if that makes sense. So adding in a bunch of other little dot clusters, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole thing completed. I think it looks so good. And if you stuck through and listened to this whole long, very slowed down, detailed version of the date cover deco, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging around. Okay, I think that's all that I have to say about that. So let's move into the sidebar. I also kept the sidebar pretty slow because I'm kind of also obsessed with what I did in the sidebar. This part up here is pretty standard, nothing too fancy. Again, just taking one of the boxes, full boxes from the kit. This one says made with love. I omitted the actual like recipe box. There was like, I think it must have been a long recipe because to me it felt very busy. So I used this one instead because it still had the script on it. So it felt like a little quote box in a way. And I really liked that. I feel like it meshed well. Oh, here I'm just layering in some more of the alcohol ink swatches there. But you can also see I used the Paper Muse Crafts little icing swirls on around the box in the sidebar here too. And then I'm trimming down some more of that bottom washi, or sorry, not bottom washi, the floral washi at the bottom there to kind of frame out the end of it. Yeah, and then here, so there were these beautiful, absolutely beautiful, like hanging garlands in the kit. They had like hanging, I don't know, dried fruits and cinnamon and like star anise, I think is what that spice is, and flowers and stuff. They were so beautiful on like a twine, and there was large ones like the one I'm pulling here on the journaling sheet, and then there was also a couple small ones on the floral sheets, and I just thought they were so fun. I had some hanging like ornament deco, so I knew I wanted to incorporate that. Again, that was all from Paper Muse Crafts. Honestly, most of the Christmas stuff that I got this year was from Paper Muse Crafts because I felt like the shops that I normally shop my $2 Tuesdays from didn't have a lot of like little cute dainty like Christmas accents in the way that I normally do. So most of the time when you watch my Plan with me's, I have stuff from a variety of shops, but for the most part, all of the Christmas themed stuff, accents in this kit are from Paper Muse Crafts. Anyways, okay, so what I did was I kind of hung the garlands up top, and I'm going to keep messing with that and changing the direction of stuff and layered it in with some of the foils. And then I put the little gingerbread house down here with a little gingerbread tree cookie and layered some florals, which was so cute. And then I'm taking the icing swirls, the dividers from Paper Muse Crafts, and I chopped those up to like foil the little icing on the actual gingerbread house, which I thought was adorable. And I put a little gingerbread man there also because he was like the right scale where like that could be his house, you know. And then I put a little sparkle at the top of that gingerbread tree also. You can see him continuing to rearrange here. I'm sorry, for whatever reason my camera was like focusing on my thumb rather than the stickers. That was kind of annoying for this part, so sorry, it keeps going in and out of focus. It'll get better because I did kind of speed this part up, and I'm just kind of rearranging the garlands to make them look like, I was going to say better. I guess that doesn't really have a lot of meaning, but make them look more balanced, like in a way that kind of flowed better, for lack of a better word to me. And then I'm going into my spring Rain and Takeo binder and pulling out these wind gusts. This is something that I saw Sweet Like Honey Plans, Cassie do. I believe it was like a year ago. I think it was her, like a year ago on a winter spread where she took one of those and made it look like smoke coming out of the chimney. So I did that for this gingerbread house. I thought it was going to be really cute. And then I took some of the snowflake deco from um, Sadie stickers to make it look like it was just like the steam was coming out and then it was snowing around the house. And of course, I had put the alcohol ink swatches behind it to get a little bit of color. And I just thought this turned out so cute. It seemed like such a cute little scene to me with so many fun details. I've said it before, but my favorite part of like spreads when I get the most excited and into it and like feel the creative juices flowing and I'm like so hyper focused or whatever and loving it, the flow is happening tends to be when I get really, really focused on the little tiny details. Like I love that part of it all. So, okay. Anyways, into the base of this, or sorry, out of the base of the spread and into the day by day of the spread. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this was the first week of December. So really, this was the end of November. It was the week after Thanksgiving, which I still do want to do a Thanksgiving spread. I haven't filmed it yet, but because I just wanted to get started on the holiday season to be a bit more seasonal, but it's on my list, just on my to-do list. So anyways, this was Cyber Monday, and I took a circle from the kit and of course layered some florals and a little White Deer stationery shopping bag. I think it says sale on it or something like that. Or I don't know. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a gift bag or a sale bag. I don't know. That's kind of the beauty of it, actually, I guess, is that it's kind of both. And the Cyber Monday script is from Paper Trail Plans. I kind of chopped it up so I can make it fit better in the space that I had allotted for it. And yeah, of course, like I said, just using a lot of like, well, actually, did I say this? I might not have said this already. I used a lot of winter accents in this spread because, again, I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of Christmas specific stuff just because I felt like there wasn't a whole lot released. So a lot of the accents that I'm using are actually from last year's Sadie stickers winter releases. Like most of the snowflakes that I'm using, I'm actually really grateful that I had a lot of leftovers from last year, from last winter, because that's when a lot of shops started releasing stuff in transparent matte. So most of the stuff that I have from winter of like 2022, early winter of 2022 is on transparent matte. I'm not using anything that isn't. Obviously, I haven't in like months and I think almost a year now. I literally stopped at around that time last year. But yeah, a lot of it is kind of leftovers from last year, which I'm glad I have because I just felt like there hasn't been a lot. Or a lot of stuff too. I just preferred what was released last year. Like for instance, I have the snowflakes from Sadie stickers from this year and from last year, and I actually like the ones from last year better. I was noticing that with the leaves too. They're a little bit bigger, and I feel like I can tell what the stuff is a little bit better. So I was really happy that I had some of those left over in my collection. Okay, anyways, I've just chatting and I've skipped right over most of Monday. Let's see, what did I do? So I marked a pest control appointment and I used a Paper Trail Plans little rectangle box over top of a swatch box from the kit, which I really like doing because it gives me a whited out space to write, but still the organic shape in the background. I spent a lot of time this day doing a really big meal prep, mostly for my cousin who had just had a baby and her husband. So I think I kept some of it too, but mostly for her. And then I'm marking down there too with one of the little lace boxes from the kit and a crock pot that I dropped off that this evening and went and hung out with them for a little bit and said hi to their baby. I did a little snowflake and pine scene down there with the florals. Obsessed. Though that pine branch and the snowflake are actually new to Sadie stickers this year, and I'm obsessed with both of those stickers. Those top anything that I had from last year. So I don't know. I guess hopefully I'm not speaking in like absolutes because I actually really do love those. But yeah, that was pretty much all of Monday. That crock pot I thought was really funny. I don't own a crock pot. I feel like crock pots are very like Midwest in my mind. Like I feel like in California I don't really know people with crock pots. Maybe my mom has one, I guess. She doesn't use it very often though, but I feel like it's very like regional almost. Like my style of cooking, I consider to be very like California style of cooking, and I feel like crock pots is very like Midwest or Southern. I don't know if that's in my head. You tell me where you live and if you agree with me. I would love to know. but but at the same time, I also think of crock pots as being like when someone just has a baby and you're doing like food prep for them. I crock pots come to mind, even though that's not the kind of food prep that I did. I made like lactation overnight oats and uh grilled pesto paninis and stuff like that. But anyways, that's like I feel like that's standard. Okay, I'm rambling. Let's move it on to Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday I marked I had one meeting. I took the little calendar sticker from Crafts by Towie, which I love. And then in the newer, I think both newer formats of Miss and Meow's kits, she changed her like what used to be script headers into like script swatches, which I really, really like. And I like it because it makes it much more usable for me because, I think I used the this week one, but the rest of them I maybe only will use 1 or 2 a week, but I was able to layer this, calendar sticker over top it and get the swatch in the background just to help with the kinda more organic shape, and of course, layering, like, the florals and the foils and whatever all around it, but I feel like that kinda helps modernize and make more kind of organic shapes, in the spread, which I'm really into right now, so love that. I took a 3rd box here and I layered a little gingerbread man with a little gift box from Crafts by Towie to mark that we did. We're trying this year to do a Secret Santa with my family, which the whole point was so like my mom doesn't buy everybody a million presents, and we don't all buy each other a million presents because we all have everything that we all need. But I think my mom's still buying everybody a million presents, and I think we're all still gonna buy my mom a million. I don't know. We'll see how well it goes. We're trying it for the first time. I don't know if we're gonna succeed. But anyways, we did the drawing that day. Down here, I am taking, again, one of the little like torn note page, little tape boxes. I don't know what to call it from the journaling kit. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so cute. I took one of the arches from paper trail plans and layered it over top to give myself a nice little space to write. I took a Christmas tree from a Crafts by Towie sampler from last year to layer that there, and then a little hanging garland from Sadie Stickers layered with some florals. I always like my garlands to look like they're coming from something. So I put the florals behind there because I feel like that kind of helps. And I use that to mark that my husband and I set up our Christmas tree on this night, and I put like garlands, like lit garlands across all of our we have a lot of windows in like our main living space. So I like hung all the garlands. We did all that this night, which was really fun. So I kind of tried to make that look big and fancy. I don't think I nailed the floral placement quite exactly how I would do it differently if I were to do it again, but I still think that little area looks very cute. And then I marked also that we watched Home Alone while we were setting up like all the Christmas stuff, which was, believe it or not, that was the first time I've ever seen that movie like in full. And my husband also had not seen it before. Both had never seen it. Like I've seen clips of it always, like or parts and pieces of it, but I've never like actually sat down and watched it. And it was so cute. I don't know why I haven't done that before. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm like 30 years late to that, but super, super cute. And then, okay, moving on to Wednesday. So Wednesday, I took the little important script. There was a one that said to do. I wish there was a to do script instead of I don't know what else there was, but anyways, I wanted to make a little to-do list. So instead I wrote important, which I don't know that all of these things were important, but I guess. And then I took some little snowflakes. Again, I think those are from Sadie Stickers from a sheet last year. And layered all those with some florals to make a little DIY checklist. And then down here, I am just taking a floral over top of the midi box. I am jumping back and forth all over the place. I was just trying to get the spacing right. I said this in my last plan with me, but it's much easier for me to like, spacing is not my strong suit. It's something I struggle with. And it's much easier for me to do spacing when I don't put a box in the middle. If I put a full box at the top or the bottom and I have like the whole column instead of two separate chunks, it's easier for me to space things out. But anyway, so that's why I was going back and forth, I think. But I had marked a therapy appointment in that smaller box with the little corner floral and then my little to-do list of things that had to happen. Just a few of my things. Sometimes I include my little to-dos and sometimes I don't, but you know, I love like an occasional to-do list in my planner. I think it's super fun. Especially when I get to make one myself. Okay, down here, I am marking that I did an Instagram live, a plans change with Rachel and Tay. So that was really fun. I took a little Instagram phone from Crafts by Towie. And then, of course, again, this trick that I do, I have all those paper trail plans, different sized boxes from all the different samplers, and I just layer them on top of everything. Like at this point, with all the different journaling elements that kits are coming out with, I can always find one. Well, for the most part, I can find one that fits. So this was like a little, again, it looks like a torn piece of notebook paper, and one of the little rectangles fit perfectly right over that. And then I layered some more florals, obviously, too. And then, okay, down here at the bottom, I'm taking a box from the kit and I'm layering it with a one of the scalloped boxes. I don't know the colorway, but it's from the Gathered Layers collection, which was the collab between Gathered Plans and Panda Bird Design. That color fit really well in here. I'm totally out of my rose gold version of those, which I'm so sad about. I think I have some more on the way that I ordered over Black Friday or something, but yeah, I'm out of that, and I really love layering boxes whenever I have boxes in a kit. So I'm glad that I was able to find a non-foiled color that matched this kit. And I wrote butternut squash soup. Don't look at my handwriting there. It's atrocious. I put a floral at the bottom and it really was in the way of me writing. But I was super excited because I I grew butternut squashes in my garden this year, and they are hard to grow. They take a really long time to grow. Like a lot of summer squashes like zucchini or yellow squash, you know, they grow overnight. They're so fast. Winter squashes, like butternut squashes, you grow them over the summer, they take like over 100 days for when you plant like a start in the ground to get a ripe like squash. And then, but the good thing about them is then they last for months. So I pulled those out a couple months ago and was able to make like my homegrown homemade butternut squash soup this night, and it was so delicious, and my husband was a big fan, and I was just so pleased with myself and my homegrown homemade butternut squash soup. So anyways, okay, moving on to Thursday. I'm marking that it was the first day of December, so hello December. Again, this is a little paper trail plans script. I think I actually ended up putting it back and chopping it up because I wanted to add in this little candy cane gingerbread cookie and this hot chocolate, I believe that is here. Just a little kind of December-y deco elements. I'm putting a little gingerbread man on that mug, which is so cute. But yeah, I do, like I've said this a lot, but I tend to cut like a lot of paper trail plan scripts. They're together like that, but I'll tend to cut them up so that I can maneuver them the way that makes sense for whatever deco that I'm doing. I also put a little floral over top. One of the things that I've noticed a lot of shops doing, Miss and Meow included, is these like droop hanging dangling garlands on, like they're putting them on boxes in the kit, which is really pretty, but I you guys know I personally like things a bit more simple, and for me, I like when garlands look like they're coming from something. So I find it a bit limiting because then I feel like I have to put something over that corner of the box. But Miss and Meow does have like, I appreciate that she has these really kind of small florals in a lot of her kits that are good for putting on like the corner of a box or a midi box or a circle or something where like the flow kind of makes sense in that way. So that's what I did there, and I actually think it turned out looking really cute. And then I have that snowflake coming from behind it too, and of course all the little accents. I marked that it was a cozy rainy day this day. It was so nice. It was so rainy, and I don't know. I marked this a few times because this is a really rainy week and all of our like Christmas lights up and stuff in our house. It was just so cozy and so wonderful. So I marked that. I took a little cloud from White Deer Stationery, and then this was a trick that I saw someone do last year, and I've mimicked it a couple times. And every time in a plan with me, I'm like, I don't know who the first person who did this was. Someone tell me if you know. And so far, no one has told me. So I'm so sorry to whoever's idea this was. It was not mine. But I took little raindrops and raindrop garlands and snowflakes and put them hanging down from that cloud, and I thought it was just the cutest thing ever. So love that. And then right below there, I marked 2 meetings. So again, I kind of did the same thing that I did on Monday, where I took the same sticker from Crafts by Towie, the little calendar sticker, but I just decorated it in a very different way. Like I did a big floral, whereas the one on Tuesday had a swatch behind it, and like no icon. This time I took the clipboard from the kit and floraled it up and foiled it up and stuff with the bow and the snowflakes, etc. So made it look different but still cohesive. And then down here, I took a little leftover of the torn washi or the torn paper that I had put on the top of this side of the planner and layered in, of course, some more of that little icing and the gingerbread cookie, etc., just to mark that I did some more Christmas decor, got some more stuff out on this day. It's a work in progress. It's like almost Christmas in like a week, and I'm still still taking stuff out. I laid down the boxes for the rest of the week just because I only had, you can see I finished that sheet of the little icing swirls, which I was putting at the bottom of every single box and also the bottom of every single day. And I normally don't do this kind of, maybe sometimes I do this configuration of boxes, but I knew that I needed to have 2 of the boxes at the bottom of the columns, or else I wouldn't have enough of that leftover like enough of those little icing swirls to finish the bottoms of all the boxes and the columns. So I laid them down in advance so I wouldn't forget. So that's why I did that in advance. Okay, up here I'm so glad that she added in these like fancy boxes to the kit. I love these. They have the double line, which I'm such a fan of. I think it's so elegant and beautiful. Like the thicker line on the outside. I mean, both the lines are really thin, but the outside line is slightly thicker, and then the inside line is just so dainty. I love that. And I also just love having more options of different size mini boxes and shapes. Anyways, I took a little like wardrobe sticker from White Deer Stationery, of course, foiled it up and marked that this was closet install part 2. I think realistically, this was the 3rd time the installer was here. I've said, I think it literally took 4. My closets are now 100% installed. Bless, thank God. It took forever, but this was day 2 of him coming. He still did not have all of the right stuff. Anyways, but that was fine. So that happened in the morning, and then I'm also marking the cleaners coming. So I love whenever I use a Miss and Meow kit on a week that the cleaners come, because I love the little spray bottle to mark the cleaners coming. I think it's so cute. I think that sticker has such good flow. I love it. Okay, here I am taking I love this sticker from the kit too. Again, it looks like a piece of like gingham notebook paper torn with like a swatch in the background, and then it's got like a little paper clip with floral. So cute. So cute. We had a pizza night over at my cousin's house with a little newborn baby. So cute. I got to feed him for the first time. He was like 2 weeks old, I think, at this point. Just amazing. Absolutely adorable. So we hung out with them this evening, and I took a little pizza slice from Crafts by Towie to mark that. And then, of course, again, I'm just taking a million little accents, dots, etc. A lot of the snowflake deco. Again, last year's snowflake deco for the most part. I used a little bit of this year's snowflake deco, but like the one I'm using right now that I'm cutting up, that is from last year from Sadie Stickers, and I think most of the other dots are from Sadie Stickers, except for there's a few that are from the gingerbread sheet from Paper Muse Crafts. So that's where all that is from. And then honestly, not too much exciting to mark here. I did another little floral scene. at the bottom, using more of those snowflakes. I'm gonna need more of those snowflakes from Sadie stickers. I only got one of each sheet, and I just know that I'm gonna go through those so fast in January and February. I'm obsessed with them. They are so delicate and pretty and so good. But yeah, layered in some more little gingerbread men and more cookies. Again, I just love the concept of the gingerbread men because even though there's like gingerbread men in that box right next to it, to me, it doesn't weird me out. Normally, it would. Like if I was using deco pieces that were like the exact same non-floral deco pieces right next to each other, I wouldn't like that. But with the gingerbread men, it just makes sense to me with the cookies. I don't know. Okay, up top I marked that we got Mr. Pickles. I don't think I filmed that part. Sorry about that. I didn't have it quite dialed in to get it filmed. Anyways, okay, this is a trick that I've been doing a lot and I really like it, and I don't think I've talked about it just yet, but I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing, which is I have been taking like paint swatch type stickers or stickers that have that kind of like organic swatch feel from kits, and I've been cutting them in half, and a lot of times it's diagonally that makes the most sense to me, or for like the shape that I'm using, and I've been layering them like in the corner of of a shape, like in the two corners of a shape, and then I'm using like florals or the icon or whatever else to kind of cover up the cut line edges that you could see, to just kind of provide like a little wash of background and a more organic shape and feel. And it's just kind of a fun layering thing. There I marked a self-care shower with a little candle, and I feel like it was like a candle and a rose, and the florals that I used were really pretty, but just that kind of soft background, like it makes so much sense. It's so pretty, and just kind of softens the whole thing up and makes it kind of feel more in line with some of the more like organic elements that we're seeing in journaling kits, if that makes sense. So I've been doing that a lot, and I really, really like the look of it. So I thought I would talk you through how I'm doing that and like what my thought process is when I do that. But it just kind of makes it like look like it's on a soft background. Okay, down here at the bottom, I'm marking that my husband and I did more Christmas decor this night. I put the little snowman from, again, that Crafts by Towie sampler from last year. So cute. He's adorable. And I marked that we watched Elf. We just had a very kind of Christmassy night, putting up the decorations and watching Elf together. Yeah, this was a really great day. Again, we didn't do much this weekend. We like didn't leave the house. I think after Thanksgiving, we were gone like we were social every day of Thanksgiving, and I think we were so happy to just be like home in our like making our house look all cute and cozy and Christmassy this weekend. So, yeah. I marked we also ordered tacos. My husband went and got us tacos this night. And yeah, we just had a really nice kind of relaxing Christmassy plus tacos evening. Okay, so up here, again, more layering with some of the journaling elements. This is another torn piece of notebook paper looking thing. This time I took a circle again from Paper Trail Plans, to layer over top to give myself some nice white space to write in. It also just like with a sticker this big, it also just kind of gives me some structure, I feel like, to put a like one of the shapes from Paper Trail Plans over top of it, or you could use them from anybody, but I like the Paper Trail Plans ones, obviously. But it just gives me some structure to like work around and build like decorations around, if that makes sense. So like that floral that I put, the flow of like the branches, you can see kind of like frames the shape and the direction of the circle really nicely, etc. So I think that makes sense. You can see here I am again using that same trick where I cut a shape in half, one of those swatch shapes in half. And at this time I'm layering it behind a square, which I think looks really nice. I got pretty close to not needing to like cover up the edges here, but not quite. So I still do. But again, once the edges are covered, I feel like it looks really pretty and really seamless. I love the shape and the flow of that floral that I have sticking out. The shape of that floral was really nice for like adding to frame the corner of something. I stuck the little the stickers from the kit. Super meta as always. I love those, are probably my favorite one of her icons. They're amazing. They've got such good flow, and I just find them so funny because they are stickers of the sticker kit that you're using. So I find an excuse to use those every time. Not that it's hard because I do so much planner stuff and sticker stuff in a week. But I always find it an excuse to use those with her kits. And I marked that I edited a haul this day. Again, this was just like the most cozy rainy day. My husband and I just were like cozy on the couch for the most of the day, just chilling. So I spent a good chunk of that time editing a haul. Or no, sorry, that was a plan with me I edited. And then I'm also marking going to the grocery store here, nothing special, just layering again her little cute grocery bag from the kit with some florals, making my own kind of little floral piece, and then cutting one of hers down. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Not much to mark. I don't know if I did a lot more. I remember whenever I opened my planner the next day, I hadn't written anything down for the whole weekend, so this was all off of memory. I'm sure I did something productive and just don't remember. But anyways, doesn't really matter. Down here, I'm doing another little floral scene with the gingerbread house. I put the little gingerbread man next to it again because I thought that was super cute. And more snow, just to make it look like it's kind of snowing around that. I think it's adorable. And then, of course, I don't think I mentioned it, but I used a lot of the dividers from my Sadie Stickers freebie all throughout this kit as well, because if it's a rose gold kit, I'm pulling in my Sadie Stickers freebie. Okay, cool. And that's pretty much the whole week. I put this in 20x speed, but I was super close to not putting any of my like pretty pink column dividers or washi, whatever, on the spread this week, because honestly, I think it looked really good without it, and I was kind of wanting to keep it simple. There was a lot going on already, but I couldn't resist, and after I finished the whole week, I was like, this could use a little more foil. So I added it in, and I'm just giving you a little close-up shot of the second half of the week now with those washi trims on the sides. I don't know, I think it looks really nice. It just kind of adds that like extra little pop of foil. So there we go. That is the whole spread. Again, I'm obsessed with how it turned out. It was so fun. I'm showing you the kit leftovers, and I feel like I used so much of this kit, especially the journaling kit. I like tore through it. And I just had so much fun using all of it. I feel like it's exactly what I like. It looks really full, but also cohesive. Everywhere you look, there's something like new and interesting happening, and yeah, I really love this one, genuinely. So I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope that you're staying really safe and well. I definitely have more Christmas spreads coming. Right now I'm trying to prioritize those since this is such a short season, but such a fun one. So I'm hoping to have more of those out soon. So definitely stick around. If you're not subscribed and you're still here at this point, do it. No, I'm kidding. You do you. But anyways, I do appreciate you watching till this point. So, okay, I think that's pretty much it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.